Why aren't we doing research and papers on what works great? And that's when positive psychology was created, that give us the tools of how to maximize what is good in us.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
We made the mistake. So I believe that, we are, at the moment that they go inside the organization, we have the responsibility to make the most of this person, to try to find the strengths and to try to keep it in the organization, because that person is not the fault that somebody bring it without the right assessment, right?
Right.
What do you think that is the biggest problem that you see in corporation? And I get the thing that the people go there trying to fix. There is something wrong with you. There is nothing wrong with anybody in any corporate position or in any business. It's just exactly what you specialize. Is we need to identify, the company need to be able to identify. They don't know how to do it. They can be a consultant like you that can identify the strength of the employee, and maybe you will find out that somebody that you have as a manager in one corner can be an amazing operation or whatever in the other corner. So what do you think, Alfredo, that all these, because companies underperform uh, because of the people that they are taking the decision, they haven't taken consideration what we're discussing today.
Well, the first problem is that in companies, like in the population in general, there is a blindness of strengths. Okay, it is like a plumber going to your home with a toolkit. Then basically, there is a blindness of strength. And by the way, I will tell your audience in a few moments how to get your 5 strengths. Okay.
Thank you. That would be amazing.
Yes. The second thing is that they work on short-term goals. And what we know from research, that shorter the term of the goal, narrower your scope of creativity.
Wow.
Okay. Then more you zoom on the immediate, less you are able to see the broader picture and create. It is very simple. If a tiger walks into the room, you're going to see only the tiger. And you may be efficiently able to deal with a tiger if you have a gun or you run away. But you're going to solve the situation in the immediate run. Then I work with companies, and there are some companies that some of them, they give an assessment of performance every week. Okay, then they give a performance assessment of the sales people every week, and I talk with the team, and they are absolutely stressed out because they are basically running from week to week for their lives, and all creativity is gone. I just read a book. It's a bestseller. Read it for the second time. It's called Drive by Daniel Pink. And he talks about this. And the companies making the biggest breakthroughs are the ones who give to their employees some hours of the week, even a day, to work at projects they want to work, even unrelated to what they are doing in the company. It has to be connected somehow, okay? Clearly, you have to fix a problem or something connected to the company. But most of the best applications at Google, for example, came out of that time that Google employees were given during the week to create openly. And actually, they were able to create their own teams among the different employees.
Wow.
Okay, then I feel I would like to work with you, and in many companies, it has been implemented in which they give some time for creativity, to use your strengths and to move people from the survival mechanisms which are narrowing the self, to broadening mechanisms which unleash creativity. I think that's, but if we are running every time, on the issue of the quarter, and making the bottom line, yes, we may do it. We may even go beyond that. But on the long term, we are going to lose the steam of creativity, and the consequences may be,
Yeah, you lost innovation. Then there is
loss
no
of innovation.
innovation. There is
Yes.
no creativity. There is no innovation. If there is
Not,
no
not only
innovation.
that, not only that, you're going to lose motivation
Mm-hmm.
from the people who work at the company. They're going to lose motivation, okay, commitment, loyalty. They will even go to a different job that pay them less, especially the younger
Mm-hmm.
generation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Wow.
okay, where
Redefine.
for much of the younger generation, the salary is not the most definitive thing. It has to be a quota of fulfillment and
Mm-hmm.
creativity and
Yes.
expression and
Especially with the
expression.
new generations, they operate like this. I
Exactly.
agree with you. Yeah. So, Alfredo, tell us what are how we can know our strengths.
Very, very simple. You just text to me the word positive to 33777. Okay, a simple text. Positivity, but sorry, positive, no positivity. Positive
Positive.
at 33777, and you're going to get, 2 pages about how to go. You go through a very simple process that will take you 10 minutes. I'm going to introduce you to the 24 strengths of positive psychology. There are 24,
Wow.
which are amazing. And I will going to give you a few questions about how to look at them. And after you go through the 4 questions, very simple ones, you're going to be able to determine the top 5 for you.
Wow.
Very simple.
And Alfredo, this is actually sometimes we build a business because of this, because we try to find a solution for ourselves to a problem that we have, and then this we solve it for us, and then we trying to help other people. I remember my first property business. Um, I started to rent the rooms because my I was paying a lot of rent when I was in London. So I was thinking, well, if there is a way that I can not pay the rent, then I'm gonna have more out of my salary. So then I started the business when we were renting rooms, and and this is when the business right, then I save my money in the rent. So because I save, then I start to do it more and more,
Right.
and that create the money. So but first the business started for me try to solve a problem for myself, and then after you try to help others to solve the same problem. This is to be actually what happened to you that in the middle of after 8 months of depression, yeah, you look at your 5 strengths, and you decided I'm gonna embrace this is who I am. And since then the rest is a story. You change completely, and even better now you are also helping companies doing talks um, about this topic, which is actually is really really important, and very few people talks about. And then you go to companies to do corporate training, and they are telling you all the time, they always tell me, Harry, we need motivational speakers, and of course everybody need motivational speakers. Everybody's demotivated in the company. What they are demotivating in the first place? I always telling them, how about if we do an inspiring speech, so they can actually transform and see what's going on. But they're demotivated exactly for this, because in mine, Alfredo, even that's how you started on the
There
first
is
place. Your
no,
first step was networking. I hate it. So imagine that now you are at work, and yeah, and you have a job, and tomorrow the new boss come. I said, okay, Alfredo, you know what? You're not gonna do this task anymore. From now on, I want you to do networking. What are you gonna do? You hate it, but you have to do because you have to get paid. This is you work for that company, whatever company. So now, can you imagine how many people out there they are actually going to work and doing something that is not your strength? Can you imagine how challenging that can be?
They,
It can affect psychologically the person and the company as well. Then that's why we have a lot of mental health issues. Every time that we're in London, Harry talk about mental health. I'm like, why do you want me to talk about this? And they say, well, they have a lot of mental health issue in the corporate world right now, and that could be one of the sources.
talking about motivation, I've seen it. There is no greater motivation than giving a person the gift of their own strengths.
I agree with you, 100%.
You cannot
100%.
Okay, and what is amazing is that we know that by just knowing your 5 top strengths, just by knowing them, you are 9 times, you have 9 times more potential to develop, because although we use our top strengths naturally, it's different when you use them intentionally. By knowing them, you shift from doing them naturally to do them with full intention, okay? And that's what makes the difference, okay? Then I invite everybody to get the strength. As I said, it's very simple, okay? Very simple. I will give you the 24 strengths and a few questions, and you get them, okay? It's not even a mystery. It's a shame that
people just don't know.
Exactly. It's not even a mystery. This comes from in 1998. The top psychologist in the United States, Martin Seligman, he challenged psychologists in America and said, why psychology only studies what is wrong with us? There is a lot of good things happening in the mind, in the psyche: gratitude, resilience, courage, happiness, well-being, flourishing. Why aren't we doing research and papers on what works great? And that's when positive psychology was created and exploded as a science that gives us the tools of how to maximize what is good in us. Okay, and I think it's a right of every person to maximize their potential. It's a right, and I want everybody to exercise that right, to be at their best.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.